are back. The Living Black Life podcast. I am your host, the Godfather Tang D, and of course, I have a lovely, lovely, lovely panel with me tonight. And we're gonna get straight into it. So, without further ado, I have to first give a great introduction to probably the greatest hairstylist on the planet. Please give it up for Miss Shalonda Cole.
How are you? Out there.
Next up, I have a very, very special guest. Probably the best film producer, director, you name it. This person is just amazing at what she does. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Casey Mathis.
Yay. Hi guys. Nice to meet y'all.
So, I had to kind of switch it up a little bit. Today is going to be pretty much a girl's day. And after today, we're probably going to shift focus from the women and we're going to put a little bit more focus on the men. Okay. So first and foremost,
oh my God, Casey, are you ready?
listen, we got to get real heavy on this one. Okay. So, we do have another guest that's going to be joining us a little bit later. We have Makeup by Grace. She's going to be joining us and giving us a little bit more insight as far as our topic today, which is, we asked the question. We asked, have black women been indoctrinated to look like trans women? Or better yet, have black women been indoctrinated to look like drag? And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Oh my gosh, Aaron. Did you say the drag word?
So I gotta show you guys. This right here is actually a natural born woman. And she's beautiful woman, but this makeup style is something that we're starting to see a lot more often now. And a lot of men are saying that, hey, we kind of want more of a natural looking woman again. And we want to know, how do women feel about that? Being that we're starting to see more of this being adopted. So let me go to Shalonda first, because she had a lot to talk about this off air. So let me go to you first. Tell me what your thoughts are.
Okay. Sorry it's a little loud, you guys. I'm in Cancun, Mexico.
Yay, congratulations to her.
Oh, yes. So, okay. Me and Aaron and a couple of guys, we were talking about this last week. So my opinion about makeup, period, is that I actually have no problem with makeup. I think it's actually beautiful if it's done right and it's soft and it's sensual. But I do have a problem with it looking like, a clown. Like, I just think like it's a bit much. I'm more of a natural person myself. I like more of a natural look with just like a simple lip color, not too much makeup, no contouring. I don't like contouring because I just feel like with the whole contouring thing, sometimes it can give you that, how can I say it? I just feel like with African American women, we already have very strong features, right? As far as our cheekbones. So I don't really think it's so important to put such emphasis on that part of our faces. So my opinion is that I'm more of the natural girl, lip gloss, a nice soft pink lip, mascara, liner, but I don't do the whole like cake face thing. That's what I call it. But it is a part of the industry, and I understand that people, they play with it, they like it, they love it. It's a part of who they are when they walk out the door, but I feel like it's somewhat a mask, right? So with this particular girl, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of looking at it like it almost looks like kind of costumey. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it doesn't look natural at all. So that's my opinion.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's
I
go
don't
to
like
Casey
it.
real quick.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not too big on makeup, partly because I don't know how to do mine, like in the
Same here,
way that
Casey. I try.
they do. I love getting it done when I'm doing something like for one of my videos or for one of my films and I have to be seen, just because I know I have to present in a certain way. But it's not something that I could wear every single day. But there are pressures that come with that because, some people can do it so well and they look so different when they take it off. They're
Right.
not even the same person,
Right.
so you can start battling, insecurities and all of that kind of stuff. So I've looked at other people and said, man, I wish I could do it that well, like my makeup that well. But on the other end, it's still kind of like, I don't want to look completely, different where you can't recognize my natural, So that's what I think about it.
All right, now we finally got someone who to joined us. Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
please give it up for Makeup by Gray.
Hi, Grace.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, hey guys. How are y'all?
We listen, we're good.
Wonderful.
Now we're asking a question, okay? The question is, have black women been indoctrinated to look like trans women, or have black women been indoctrinated to look drag? We have a
Oh,
professional makeup artist in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So who better to answer this
yay.
question?
Oh wow. Okay, so wait, the question is, have black women been indoctrinated to look drag or like trans women?
Yes,
Yes.
Grace. We want to know,
It's Gray. I'm sorry. It's my last
Gray.
name. It's okay.
Okay.
Well, let me just say this. So the history of makeup artistry is very long and deep. It's something that started before we were ever thought of. Um,
Right.
Ancient Egyptians used crushed beetles to make, like eyeliner. So it's something that like has evolved over time. And I think that just like most things, like black people get a hold of something and we evolve it. We evolve the trend, we evolve the style, we evolve whatever it is. So we kind of take our own culture. Um, I think that the way black women may choose to do their makeup now, because there are so many styles of ways to do it. I think some
Right.
may gravitate to more of the drag technique and style. And honestly, like the techniques that most professional artists use to do their makeup, to do makeup nowadays, do derive from, I would say, a gay theme scenery,
It
um,
does.
drag scenery.
It
Um,
does.
and it's because those techniques do sculpt and contour the face to make it look more feminine, right? For obviously a man wearing it. I think that being indoctrinated is a stretch, but I just think that people have, adopted techniques that come from, these different places, around the world and different environments and settings and, with people who are choosing to express themselves. And I just think that they've kind of
Right.
got into the everyday household. And these are some
I'm bringing you
techniques that,
in.
that I use.
I'm bringing you in.
Um,
I'm bringing you in. I'm bringing you in.
these are some techniques that I've used and I still do use on my clients. I think that the average woman that I do work with does want to look like themselves. So even if I am using techniques that may have come from a drag queen, it doesn't make her look like a drag queen. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
I do think that there's something to be said about the different levels of which you can enhance your look. That's why makeup is so fun, is because you can really transform yourself. And I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with wanting to transform yourself and maybe not look
Me
like good on
neither.
your schmegular day. Like maybe you do want to look completely unrecognizable to a degree because you just want to explore and tap into other parts of your personality. And it's a form of expression. So I think sometimes we put a lot on Black women's beauty standards in general, and it's just far as like judging and critiquing them. And I really would love to just see the change as far as like letting people kind of just do them and express themselves. Like there's a saying in my family that we say, like, if you like it, I love it. So,
Yes.
you know,
I know that saying. You're right. You're right, Gray.
love it.
So you guys, so Aaron, I hate to like do this, but well, actually I love to do it, but I have another guy on the panel with me that would love to have an opinion about this whole situation. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, his name is Bob, and he would like to speak about the behalf coming from a guy like you looking into it. Okay.
Cool.
How are y'all doing, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Good, good, good. I go by Chef Bob, and on this topic in particular, I feel like there's a lot of female point of view on this, and I would love to put a male point of view on this as well.
All right, what you got for us?
Um, my history, I actually have a brother that is actually drag. He is full blown, um, out in the open and has been committed and has a partner. He is engaged, and more power to him. I love him to death. That's my little brother. And he does drag. He puts on the makeup, he does everything. And that has nothing to do with who he is. It's how he accentuates what personality he's trying to put out there for his performance. Now,
Exactly.
when it comes to black women being indoctrinated into drag or transgender, there's two sides. Men need to accept their natural beauty. I love both black or dark freckles. I love white freckles, any imperfections in you. That shows who you are. You do so much stuff to where there's this term called wizardry, where I actually, after my divorce, went through the dating scene and ended up realizing that there were certain people that I would swipe right. And once I followed their YouTube page and their actual makeup techniques, that they were two separate people, and who they were in their natural form was not who I swiped right on their profile page. And it seems like that wizardry issue is to where you are personifying who you want to be and not who you actually are. And you need to actually let people know who you really are and not cover up who you are. With Shalonda, we've gone into this conversation a few times to where I'm saying accentuate your natural beauty, but don't overcome it. It needs to be who you are. Every black woman is a queen in my eyes, when especially when it comes to empowered women that have gone above and beyond stuff, to where I'm like, you don't need to hide or transform yourself to catch someone, because you are an empowered person. And when it comes to the makeup side of it, I think that from a very young age, people have taught their daughters, and I'm a father of a daughter, that they need to look a certain way. And I don't agree with that. I believe that they are beautiful from the beginning, from the inside and out. And all they need to do, if they want to, is accentuate a few little assets, but they are beautiful as themselves. And I don't think that changing yourself is going to change how a man is going to catch you. And I think that's the main thing, is that they change themselves in order to catch someone. And a
I,
man is going to love you. And
I
go ahead, go ahead.
I somewhat disagree with that, only because I feel like, one, a lot of women actually don't you know attempt to really look good for, I mean, we attempt to look good for men, but really it's for ourselves or for other women. So it's like the person that if we're thinking to impress anyone, it's typically most times not really men. And if it is men, it's usually a specific man we have in mind that either we're
Yes.
interested in, but it's not men in general. So I feel like, it's better for like, say the term changing yourself, like makeup isn't something that, like, it's not like where you're, in my mind, I don't see it as like you're changing yourself. You're enhancing yourself. Maybe you are,
Exactly. That's
maybe
what I'm saying.
maybe
Yes.
okay, well maybe you are like, when I get made up, like last night for example, I went somewhere and I hadn't been dolled up in a while. I've been walking around bare face, bags under my eyes, dark circles, the whole nine, pimples on my chin, like, looking how I look every day naturally, and I have no problem with that. I see and embrace my natural beauty. But last night I was like, I want to look just like angelic. I want to look like just like perfection. You know what I mean? I want my makeup to look a certain way and my hair is a certain way right now. And it just helped, it gave me a little bit of a confidence boost. And I didn't go out with my man. I went out with my girlfriend, you know what I mean? And we went and hung out and had a good time. So I feel like it's about a mood and a feeling that it gives women. And I think that's where I get kind of like, not protective or defensive, but just kind of like, I see it from so many different angles because I've been doing this for 12 years now. And I've had so many different types of women in my chair, older women, younger women, teenagers. I mean, for all types of events and special occasions and weddings and whatever. And most times, I would say 95% of the time, women who have been in my chair already feel confident. They may have some things that they don't like or certain preferences or whatever, but for the most part, like that transformation that I'm able to perform for them and like give them, it's a confidence boost and it helps them go out into the world and face the world in a different manner. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with, switching your wig every few days. If that's what you're into, there's the girls that are the natural girls that don't care a lick about makeup and don't feel like they need to wear it and don't think that it's important and think that they're fine without it. But the way I see it, like, there's something for everybody, you know what I mean? And I just want us to get to the point where it's like, because men are visual, and I just hate when men say that like they don't care about how we look, like they love us in our natural state, but let me put on some concealer and a little mascara and a lash, you're gonna be like, well, damn, who was that? Is that my girl? She look good.
But that's
what
what I'm talking about. That's not what, when it comes to like drag queen or transgender, is like that whole conception or mentality is totally different than what you're talking about, how you went out last night. Well,
hold on. Let me pause you for just a second because I know Casey, she has to go. So before she
Okay.
leaves, I just want to get her final thoughts on here before she has to go.
Okay. Yeah.
I know I was listening to everybody. You got deep real fast.
I know, right?
Yeah, I had said my 2 cents. I wish I did know how to do makeup, but I just think it's a certain style for everything you're doing. I just, I think it all goes down to purpose and what you're getting ready for. So
I agree.
And now, before you leave, I have one question for you before you have to go. How do you feel that current makeup trends affect how people look in the film industry?
How do I feel that it affects how people look in the film industry? I guess it kind of depends, because like if you're going for reality shows, people
it's
are
dramatic. They go
it's
over
more
the
dramatic.
top. It's dramatic.
Right, which is totally different than what you would do on a film set, unless that's how the character that you're portraying is supposed to look, So I think it just depends on what kind of project you're doing, Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about
this picture.
All right, well, perfect. Look, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to be up here for a little while, so if you do feel like hopping back on, that's perfectly fine. But ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Casey.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Listen to you, Casey.
Okay.
All right, brother,
Bye.
we're gonna go back to you. You were saying something.
You want to talk about the picture?
Well, I also want to kind of come back to the picture that you have posted right here, because this, to me, I feel like that picture is what is the content of the picture. This, to me, reminds me of a lot of models that I've seen throughout Tampa, through some friends of mine or friends of my sisters that have modeled before. And it seems like it's not really something that you would go out and portray as yourself, but what's the content of the ad? And the ad to me is like the color or the scheme or whatever that photographer is trying to portray. So this to me is not over the top. This isn't something that you would do on a regular day to day. That is like, to me, an ad.
And creative that they did. Like she has
It
like
is. It is. To me, that is beautiful, creative, and artistic.
Mm-hmm. No one's gonna
it's not everyday makeup though. What
Absolutely
I'm saying is
not.
like I just feel like it's something that if I seen a female walking around, okay, well now see the second one you just posted, I love.
But this is
Well,
also
I don't know.
a makeup.
I love this one. I wouldn't. Well,
That's
not so much.
cosplay right
Not
there.
so
That's
much the
poison ivy right there.
size. Yeah, not so much the size. But see, this right here, when I look at it, it looks like it could be Halloween makeup, or it could be
cosplay,
or for a photo shoot, some type of like aquatic photo shoot or a mermaid photo shoot, or I do hair, and it also looks like it could be like she could be a hair model. And that look could be something like, if you do like the 4 elements, like water, earth, wind, fire. Like when I look at that, that's what I see. But in every day to walk around, no, I'm sorry, sis, but I would have to disagree. It's a bit much.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a bit much.
I think if we're really going to analyze this, like there has to be photos of realistic women wearing that may be a bit dramatic, like, but it's with neutral tones, and it's like she look, like I think this photo is a bit out of context for what we're talking about. This clearly is like
I agree.
Okay, Aaron, can you post
Aaron,
can you post a video? Can you post a picture of like someone with like a full face makeup? I mean, like
I got you.
lashes.
Now I wanna make sure I add some context. I want to clarify why I chose these pictures in particular. So number one, this is, of course, if you guys notice, it's the same person. And when I saw the makeup, I thought that it was creative. And I thought, okay, I understand, creatively this particular look. Now, there was a friend of mine who saw the same pictures and said that he's actually been seeing women walking around like that. So I said, okay, now keep in mind, I'm not in the dating scene. So for all my brothers that are, I don't know what you guys are seeing. And I pray that it's not this particular thing here. But there is an article.
Topic was African American women. Did he say he saw African American women walking around like that?
Yeah, he only dates black women. He only dates black women.
Okay.
So he only dates black women, and
not gonna blow it up.
Yeah. So
talk about it. It's out there, baby. Let's just say it.
Okay, I've seen Caucasian women walking around with full-blown multiple color makeups, but that's in the more of the what do they call it, the goth era, the goth style, where it's more of the purples and blacks and all that stuff. But even in downtown Orlando area where people dress up and do stuff while they're going out to the club, I haven't seen women walking around like this. Even the girls that work the clubs that are selling bottles. So I would not know any woman that have walked around like this other than doing some type of promotion or some type of modeling gig.
Right.
So let me.
So if he saw someone, maybe she was working.
I mean, maybe, I'm not sure. Again, I know, we're moving in 2 different circles. I'm not dating, and again, he's also a little bit younger too, so I don't know what the younger girls are doing. But I wanna go to an article real quick because I always come with the receipts. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So there's an article that was written, and it asked the question. It says, "Is Instagram making girls look like drag queens?" And essentially, this came from a video that Wayne Goss did, where he basically, in the YouTube video, which I'm gonna play some of it, but he started asking a question. He started talking about basically the same thing that Ashley was talking about, where she was saying that essentially there are certain techniques that are used, and he's seeing a lot more of these techniques being used for a lot of women using these techniques that drag queens typically use to make them look more feminine, but because women are already naturally feminine, they just don't have to do that. So let me go to that video real quick. I'm just going to play a little bit of this so you guys can kind of see what he had to say.
In the last several years, with Instagram taking off the way that it has, we are now seeing more and more wonderful makeup pictures, and the talents behind them are just amazing, and they floor me. I love looking at them. But when I did the video on Instagram Browse, the point I was making was that what we're doing now is borrowing techniques basically from drag queens that have existed for so many years, and now using them on ourselves, but we're not diluting them. What we're doing is using the exact same techniques with the same heavy hand and experiencing the same results, but women are doing it on themselves, or they're having it done to themselves by makeup artists. And while the techniques are fascinating, the purpose is to transform a male into a heightened female. And when you've already got a female face, all of the excess work needs to be softened, but it isn't being. And we're seeing this on Instagram. And if you look at this video here, now this video here is by the incredible Miss Fang, and his link or her link is in the description bar below. You should absolutely subscribe. Incredibly talented makeup artist, and the transformations are phenomenal. But there is nothing really dissimilar from this to all the other pictures that we're seeing on Instagram, except for the fact that this is a man transforming himself into a woman.
So let me pause right there. Just based upon what you guys just saw, let me go to Ashley first. Tell me what your thoughts are. Do you agree or disagree? Sounds like you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, no, I said I agree. I think he's right. Like, to my point earlier, like, these are techniques that women are using that come from the drag scene, and they're not diluted all the way, but I think that they can be, as long as the person that's applying it, you know, just this is really just about taste, right? Like, people knowing what looks good, and the average person doesn't really have a genuine sense of style and like a real like attention to detail when it comes to like really knowing what works for them and looks good on them. The average person, like the brain, like, and we're like, oh, I want to look like that. Oh, I want my hair like that. Oh, I want my try to emulate what we see. I think that's so. If you see a makeup look, you're like, wow, that looks so nice. Like, I want to look like that. You know, because when I have people come in my chair, they show me pictures that they want to look like or how they want to look. And it's my job to say, okay, well, based on this photo, like these colors could work for you, but these colors may not. You know what I mean? Or her eyes and yours is not. So let's try to like come up with something that will complement your face, facial structure, your bone structure, your eye color, your eye shape. Yeah. Like, you have to just like, it's about kind of managing a person's expectations, and the average person is not consulting with a professional to get their makeup done or to learn how to do their makeup themselves. So they're just kind of like going by winging it.
Yes.
It's like they just don't know it. People just really don't know any better for real. So I just feel like it's, you know, it is what it is. People just don't really know any better. Until you see something and they're like, oh wait, because now really the trend is to wear less, is to let your freckles show, or you have people drawing on fake freckles because they want freckles. You know what I mean? Like,
you know that they're doing tattoos now, Gray.
Yeah, they've got all type of stuff. So it's like,
oh my gosh, you're tattooing freckles.
Yeah, people don't know what they want until they see something different, and then now they're on to that. So I just think that like with social media culture, like wanting to jump on the next best thing or just what you think is gonna make you blend in or stand out, I don't know, is what people are attracted to doing. Because every time I get clients in my chair, they're always like, I want to look like myself though. And I'm like, relax, like I got you. And you have to also understand too, like Wayne Goss, like he's a man, but you know, men are naturally more heavy-handed when it comes to applying makeup. Like
they are.
I keep it real with my clients. I look like, you know, if you want me to refer you to somebody for a certain look, like it may be a man. You know what I mean? Like, and if
well, they are more heavy-handed when it comes to drag. When it comes to trans, yes, they are more heavy-handed. But I think the content of what that video or that script is saying is the technique of becoming softer and blending. And that's what he was saying, because you're going from a man trying to look like a woman, and they're taking techniques from the drag to use with less accentuating for women and teaching them technique. I'm an artist from the beginning. Since I was a little itty bitty kid, I started off as an artist, and then I went into music, which was more art. Then I went into carpentry, which was another form of art. And now I'm an executive chef, which I still create art out of raw material and create magic on a plate. But when it comes to women, I say the same thing. Y'all do magic when it comes to makeup. And as a professional for you, I still have that question that you can blend, you can do different techniques with a brush. So why not put it on a canvas and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, because people been doing that since the beginning of time. Y'all have a talent that y'all are not putting to the fullest degree. And if a guy can do it from a man making himself look like a woman, where you can pull up a YouTube from someone in China from a full-blown man looking like the prettiest woman ever and not even realizing that that's a man, take those same techniques and say, hey, that might be something that you can use.
I think that's an interesting point that you said, as far as like, actually putting it on a canvas. So I guess let's go to the makeup artist and ask, like, why don't we see that often?
What do you mean?
So essentially, instead of putting it on someone's face, actually putting it on, a canvas, like, a actual picture or painting.
Because that's just, I guess, not what our medium is. It's not what we choose. Our canvas is a fake.
Okay. Right. So Gray, my question to you, what's been going on lately that I've been seeing, because I do hair. So I'm not really a big makeup person. I'll put it on, but it's not like a full face, with me. And Aaron will tell you that I'm more of like on the natural side. I'm not really into all of that. I mean, it's cool, but it's not something I do. So what I have been noticing is like what's been going on with the double lashes. Why do women no, really, like, why do women feel okay? This is my thing. The double lashes, like, it's too much. It looks like, can they see? I'm just
Well,
curious. Can they see? Because no, listen, like, it's so much. I have a client, and she's a little girl, like not little, but like she's tiny, she's petite, so she has a tiny face, tiny build. But then she wears two things of lashes, and she wears like the really big flare ones, and I'm confused because I'm like, okay, like it looks like they're about to fly away.
Again,
But I just
people
can't.
don't know what really looks good on them, and I think a lot of people's perception of how they look is just a little skewed. I mean, there's like 50,000 filters you can use to put on your face on social media now. So it's like people don't really know what they actually look like walking around in the world. So it's like in their mind, they look amazing with those lashes, but to someone else who, like you, who literally doesn't wear makeup for real, like that much, like you're perceiving it as too much, but in her mind it's perfect because she'll wear heavy makeup, she will wear a thick lash, and just in my mind it's kind of like, look, like I've been doing this for so long, I've seen everything, like, so I'm just not
I know you have.
phased by any of it anymore. I know what looks good and tasteful because I've trained my eye to know what,
Right.
you know what I mean? But the average person, just like I said, they just don't get better. And you have to think about the environments that people are in, the kind of that they hang around, what those girls look like, what they're wearing, what, like, that's kind of how we are as people, right? Like we have our little cliques, and you notice that like the girls in the clique kind of dress alike, or they talk alike, or they have the same kind of style. Like
True.
they kind of
True.
vibe. So it's like it's deeper than just like, her picking out this lash thinking like cute. Like she probably saw one of her friends wear it and was like, oh, that's cute, like let me see if it'll look good on me, and not knowing that it doesn't, but it makes her fit, it helped make it like she's maybe not, she doesn't think she's fitting in, but she's subconsciously doing it to look the part and be amongst her core group of people that she's around. So it's just like it's layers to it, but I
It is
don't
layers.
out it. I just,
It's layers.
yeah, women don't really,
And
someone
I
don't.
Right. When they don't know. So what I will tell you is that, because Aaron know I've been doing hair for a very long time. So you've been in the makeup industry and I'm in the hair industry, but I also have a lot of guy clientele that I do. And I will just have to give my opinion on this when it comes to the guys that sit in my chair.
Mhm.
So this is something that I do want to bring to a lot of our attention, that we do need to know. I love makeup. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's artistic. It's a way to basically show your art, and it's your face and it's your canvas. But I will say this, that lately, a lot of guys that have been sitting in my chair and I talk to, because Aaron will tell you I have a very large guy clientele. I feel like I have more guys than I do women. Um, you're right. We don't do things for men, but then again, we will do our makeup for a particular type of man. So you are right with that. But okay, this is something I must say. A lot of men, they don't like makeup. I'm finding that a lot of men are very into, let me see how you actually look. I don't want to see you with foundation. I don't want to see the contouring. I don't want to see the red lip. I don't want to see the lashes. I just want to see you. Maybe a little lip gloss, maybe filling your eyebrows a little bit, and that's it. I just want to see the true you. Because what's been happening lately is that I've been having a lot of guys sit in my chair telling me that, okay, man, this girl looked this type of way. Like she was bad. Like I'm like Shalonda, she was bad. Like she was like, oh my God. And then of course the brother told me the next morning she didn't look like that. So they feel like they're being,
Do
like, yeah, dude, basically. And like, like I said, I have no problem with makeup. I think makeup is beautiful. I think it looks really good. But there are sometimes not all the time. And me and Aaron, we were talking about that. What I have seen, because I've been in the industry for a very long time, 22 years. So I've worked with, cross dressers. I'm not gonna say, drags. I just say cross dressers. And sis, I have to be honest with you, Gray. Like back then when I was in the industry, you know, the guy I worked with, he did that. And the girls, they do look like him because he was doing a contouring to make his cheeks look higher. He was doing the whole, let me hide that the apple, you know what I'm saying? The apple, the Adam apple or whatever. Let me hide them. Let me make my chin look tinier. Let me make my nose look more like a button. He would do that. And so now that I see that women they are doing their face similar to what he would do, that I look at it and I'm like, you know what? This is something that a lot of cross dressers do when it comes down to makeup. The contouring, it did come from them, because you have to remember it accentuates their cheekbones. It makes their cheekbones look higher. It gives the impression that, hey, I want to look more like a woman. So
Mhm.
I feel like what Aaron is trying to say is that, why are women trying to look more like a woman when they're already women? Why are you trying to accentuate something that you already have? Now I'm not gonna say that every woman has it. Like, okay, I've worked with people that wear tons of makeup. I worked with a girl that wore so much makeup that I'll be like, yo, that girl is gorgeous. She is so pretty. But let me tell you something, Gray. One morning I walked into work and she was putting her face on, and I seen her without it, and I must say, oh my God, it was a totally different person. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of freaked out because I had no idea that she looked that way. It's almost like she felt like she had to have that on, because if she didn't have it on, she didn't look the way she looked with makeup. She looked totally different. She really did. Like, she looked totally different. I
So
seen a totally different person.
what did she look like without it? Was her
Okay,
skin,
without it,
did
yes, without it,
she
her
have,
skin was blocky. The top of her forehead was, of course, darker,
mm,
while the bottom of her skin. She had like the whole two-tone thing going on. She had a lot of darkness up under her eyes. She had
mm,
a ton of blemishes. She looked totally different.
mm.
So, with that being said, I must say a lot of men, they do feel bamboozled. Like, hey, this female looks like this when her makeup is on, like shorty bad. Like, she looks really, really good. Like, But then when you take that off, it is that representation of disappointment, because it's like, okay, you look like this with it on, but then when you have all that stuff off, you ain't even a 5. You might be like a solid 3 to me. And that's, but that's just something that men, because you have to remember the platform. We're talking about how men are looking at women now when it comes to the makeup. It's not about how we're looking at ourselves. Because, I don't, like I said, I have no problem with makeup because I do weddings. So you have to remember, I see the transformation going on. I see it, and it's beautiful. And you have to have makeup for weddings. You know what I mean? Because of the pictures, you have to wear makeup. There's no way around it. Because if you don't have on makeup with those pictures, they just don't look right. They don't come out the same way. But what I will say is that it is starting to look a little bit costumey. It is starting to look like, okay, you look like a person and now you look like a doll, or you kind of look a little casket ready. It has to make sense. I'm gonna just go back to it. I don't have a problem with makeup, but myself, I'm more of a natural born. I just like the natural glow. Like, I don't have to wear it. I have freckles. Aaron has seen me, Aaron, to tell you. I don't really need it.
Do you have
but
or do you have acne prone skin, or do you have
no,
hypertension?
I don't have acne. I have freckles. I have like little.
The fact that you're naturally pretty. You see what I'm saying? Like, more than likely you're naturally beautiful, and you don't have to, it's not a necessity for you, because you don't have anything necessarily to hide. So I think that there has to be a little bit of, not saying you don't have this level of empathy, obviously, because you're in the industry too, so you get it, but there has to just be a level, I think, for men, their perception. I think maybe the question should be like, how do men want women to present themselves to them when they first meet them? Most times you're going to meet a woman out in the world. So it's like, a woman necessarily can't get away with walking into her job with her skin on.
We don't want that's the thing, is how men want women to present themselves. We don't want to see one thing and then see something totally opposite later on. If you have freckles, or you have some scars, or you have some imperfections, it's, if you look a one way and we approach you that way, we're accepting you that way.
Woman, but let's just keep it a buck. Like, what's the likelihood of you approaching a woman that, let's just say, like this person she's talking about, or just any woman that may just look really rough, naturally, like she just may not naturally look as feminine. Like, there are certain women who they have, like I have
no, I agree. I know some women that have some really bad skin problems and issues that they're working on, and that's okay. You have to go see a dermatologist. You have to go put in some work with the doctor. You have to go put in everything that you have to do in order to clear up whatever is going on for you personally. But in the end, it really comes down to, when you're in the dating scene, are you portraying yourself, or are you portraying someone else?
See, and that's the thing. I think, like, it's just you're portraying a better version of yourself. Like, it's a more polished version of yourself. Like, it's a version of you that's like, clean, that feels confident, that exudes confidence. And I think most men are attracted to confidence. So it's like, this is how my man looks at makeup. Him being with a makeup artist and someone who he sees coming here looking one way and they leaving out looking a totally different way when they leave out of our house from getting, like, he's like, look, like, if it makes you feel whatever it is you do, like, to make yourself look the way you want to look, and if it makes you feel like the baddest bitch in the room, like, do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie with you with that.
Yes.
I can't even say nothing bad about that, because that phrase right there, yes, so that is supportive of you, and that's how that man has to be for his queen. And I totally support that, and I'm like that too. If that's how you feel about it, I got your back 100.
So let me interject for just a quick second.
Mr. Band Clap.
So yes, we do have Mr. Band Clap in the building, y'all. Give it up for Mr. Band Clap.
What's poppin'?
What's
Live
up?
from Miami.
Hey.
Live from Miami.
I'm in Mexico right now, Band Clap.
Wow, my homie Ty Gemini is in Mexico.
No,
Really?
not New Mexico. She's in Mexico.
I'm in Mexico.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
in Cancun.
Oh, so you taking a vacation, either a vacation or a girls trip, either one.
A vacation.
You know, you see how you see how long it took for her to answer that? She had to think about
No,
it. Maybe
listen,
it's
no,
both.
listen, no, listen.
Don't
So
start. I knew you were gonna start.
look,
That
you know,
took
we
2
listen,
seconds.
she
What are you
got the
talking
dude
about?
on the call right now. So he's actually on stream and he's
Exactly.
giving some
That took
great
2
advice
seconds.
actually. So this
That
isn't
didn't
a
Are y'all in the
secret.
Are y'all in the
take
same
2
room?
minutes. That took
Are
2
y'all in the
seconds.
same room?
They gotta
Of
be
course
in the
we're in the
same
same
We
room.
on the same
You know,
phone.
listen, Shalana done got flued out.
Oh God.
So, you know, you already know what it is. Listen, but hold on,
We are all inclusive,
so look, we're gonna
representing my birthday. We pop locking and dropping this shit.
see,
Yes,
you
we
already know
are.
what it
Okay.
is. So congratulations
Hey,
to
as
them,
long as
y'all.
y'all D4L,
Congratulations.
down for life.
Yes.
So listen, so all of you guys have made up some really valid points. And one of the things that was touched on was how social media and pop culture really kind of affects current trends, and not just, you know, with makeup but with hair and clothing and stuff like that. It's always done that.
Yeah.
And it would be disingenuous to say that, you know, we current makeup trends have not been been affected by RuPaul and, you know, his show that he has, the Drag Race show. And this isn't to be, you know, to be funny or
Aaron,
to
you
be
did not
mean,
go there.
I disagree.
but we have
Aaron,
to.
you went there.
So listen, so again, I never just run my mouth. I'm going to give y'all the
Aaron,
receipts.
I know Aaron,
Okay.
but oh my gosh, you
Y'all
went
bring
there.
So
Let's go.
so right here,
Aaron,
I
you
got
went
another
there.
another article for you. It says, love the most recent makeup trends. You can thank a drag queen for that. It says, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage drag, which has completely taken the world over as we know it. It says, thanks to RuPaul. Okay. Thanks to RuPaul and his Emmy Award-winning series RuPaul's Drag Race, drag queens are now more popular, visible, and marketable than ever. We are only a few years ago. We're only a few years ago. You would only be able to see queens in gay bars. They are now all but unavoidable in mainstream media and probably in the city you live in as well. I'm just going to read a little bit
That's a
more.
lie.
It says, while there is no way for someone to be a drag performer, the art of drag is inseparable from makeup. There is no better place to see drag. You know, listen, but
This ain't
I
nothing
just want
new.
to pause for a second because they're going to
Bruh,
go
That's
into like
that's a
the
lie.
Aaron, this ain't
yes.
nothing new. That they have always been around. They've always been upon us. But just like women's rights, just like black rights, just like civil rights, they have fought for
Shoot,
their rights of equality.
shoot. People,
And with
going
RuPaul
going all the
has
way,
put out
going all the way back to the Victoria's Secret. You know, shout out Ashe to the the ancestor.
Yeah.
What was his name? Dick Gregory. Ashe to Dick Gregory. But he was the first one that I heard all the way back in the 1500, something like that, talking about Victoria's Secret, which was
And
a whole drag queen.
Media and
it was a drag
this
queen,
reality
and that was
TV, it is
that was
out
Queen
there
Victoria's
and
Secret.
everyone sees it now. And that's more
Yeah,
accepted.
so
And they
and Vic,
put to where people are allowing the marriages. They are allowing these people to actually do what they have been born into, to what they feel like is themselves and accepting as themselves, to where even parents are accepting them now. Before, parents were disowning their own children because of how they were, them feeling themselves. Now they are accepting themselves. Like I said in the beginning, my brother is gay. My brother is drag. And you know what? Once he finally came out of the closet and realized that we were not going to take him away and we weren't going to separate him from our love and our family, and we were just happy that he finally came out because we saw it before he did. He loves everything more. He is more accepting of the world around him, and he's actually political. He's actually works in the politics and fights for the rights, and I support him 100%. So this ain't nothing new. This is the fact that this is another topic that has come full circle, and RuPaul is another pinpoint of showing he's opening the doors for that.
But where do my question is the whole thing about and this is all I hate to say this, but this is almost speaking for the women in a way. Like why would you say that today's current makeup trends is because of RuPaul when you got women like Super Scent, who's a millionaire makeup artist. She came out with her own makeup called the Crayon Box.
Wait, hold on. She's not a makeup artist. Just like
no, she's not a makeup artist, but she came out with her own makeup.
Super Scent is a reality TV show star, not makeup honey.
I don't even think she's that. She just was big on Vine, and she went
yes,
started a brand.
But my whole thing about bringing it up was I wouldn't say that today's current makeup trends is solely because of RuPaul, because when it comes to
by the way, no one
makeup,
said that. Just to clarify, nobody said that.
That was in the article.
Well, it wasn't saying that it was solely because of RuPaul. It was saying that he played a part in it because he allowed this to become more marketable, more mainstream.
Maybe because of what I was saying earlier about the techniques that are used, using those techniques that they use.
With the contour.
Yeah.
So are we talking about when we're talking about RuPaul making makeup more marketable or something like that? Are we just talking about for women, or are we just or are we talking about drag, or are we talking about women
we're talking about
and
all
men?
of it, the whole thing, everything.
Because when I see these women like Saweetie, like Rihanna, like Mulatto, a lot of these women that are known to wear, a lot of makeup and stuff like that, they don't wear their makeup like a drag queen would wear their makeup. It's different. It's different.
No, like, there's some artists that do look a little drag queenish now. Come on, there are some that go a little overboard. Cardi B is one of them.
And listen, actually, speaking of celebrities, this right here, this is another article. It's talking about it's true, drag queen makeup shaped today's makeup trends. And this little paragraph here, it actually talks about that specifically. So it says social media platforms have taken over the world for people to express themselves artistically with makeup. Instagram is full of influencers and celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, Jeffree Star, James Charles, and more, who are constantly changing the beauty world. These influencers use makeup techniques to transform their faces to look flawless and glamorous. It says before social media, makeup for everyday people was natural and minimalistic. But with the rise of social media, people wanted to start looking flawless and trendy. Influencers and celebrities didn't create the techniques needed to create this illusion of perfection with makeup, but instead took great inspiration from drag queen makeup.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
Right, Gray.
Now, the thing is that anyone that puts out anything is an influencer, and you could be a nobody, but there's at least going to be 100-something thousand people that are going to believe whatever you say, and is going to follow what you do or say. So it's a age of social media. So people are going to see it, and they're going to believe it, and they're going to say that is what you're supposed to be, and that's perfection. There's no such thing as perfection, but if you say it or someone else says it, they're going to follow that and take it as being the fact. So yeah, everyone out there is some type of influencer, and they need to take ownership of that. But we need to be smarter about that. Look, Black women are beautiful. Own that, and know that y'all don't need to do all this stuff in order to make yourself beautiful. If you need to put on something to make yourself feel better, then you know what, and your man is backing you, like she said her man backed her up, I'm all for it. I back up my woman every single day. Whatever she feels like she need to do for herself, I back her up. I got her back. Whatever I say I gotta do for myself, she backs me up. It's an equal relationship. But in the end, you know what, everyone's an influencer. So if you're on social media, Aaron, you're an influencer. What we're saying today is influencing people. So people are listening to it and making it like, okay, this is word. So we need to watch what we're saying and doing and saying, look, this is just our opinion.
Facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to Mr. Bandclap. How you feeling about that?
It just seems like we're pretty much, I guess hashing something that's like a statement. Like, so my thing is, as far as the society at large, with the little girls coming up, you know, with the youth coming up, how can we say that this makeup, or is this even a question that we're going to talk about? Has this truly affected our society in a positive way or in a negative way? And the reason why I say this is because on my 3-hour drive to Miami, all I was doing was watching on my 3-hour drive to Miami from Orlando, all I was doing was watching Unsung. I was looking at the Emotions, which are 3 extremely beautiful women. I was looking at 702, again, 3 extremely beautiful women. I was looking at, you know, all of these. I was looking at all of these beautiful women.
Can I give it up to 702? Can I give it up to 702?
Yes.
Okay.
Yo,
Where
give
my
it up for
girls at?
702.
Where my girls at? These women were naturally beautiful, and when you saw them, you know, they had minimal makeup. You know, their makeup wasn't off the top, you know, over the top like the way it is now. And you know, these women were stunning. Like even in their old age now, they still look naturally beautiful. The ones that still alive. Huh?
That was 20 years ago.
No, the emotions came out in the 70s.
Okay.
You know?
There's
Well, the point he was making was that was a long time ago. But for me, I would counter that, and I would say again, like, you know, young women are still going to be gorgeous. You know, every generation, you know, young women are just going to always look beautiful. And with that being said, going to Rick's point, as far as like women just naturally looking beautiful, you know, it's not really much. I mean, because even in this conversation, we've heard pretty much everyone acknowledge that, you know, when you have a beautiful woman, like there isn't really much you have to do. But you know, Ashley, she made a great point where she said, hey, listen, not all women are just drop dead gorgeous, or not all women are just naturally pretty, and they need makeup as an enhancer so they can kind of show a better side of themselves. Now, again, as men, you know, we don't want to feel like we've been tricked or duped, you know what I'm saying, which happens sometimes. But at the same time, I can understand why, you know, a woman who may not be as attractive naturally would go and make sure that her makeup is a certain way, her hair is a certain way, she smells a certain way, because she still has to compete with other women who may just have it naturally. So again, I don't think there was anything wrong with makeup. I think that it had its place, and it still has its place. I just think the key is especially for men is, one, we like what we like, you know, and if we say, hey, we want a woman that looks more natural, the reality of it is, I think most women, especially when they get, because this is something that kind of got overlooked when she said it initially, but she said a lot of girls that are going out doing makeup and stuff like that, because they may see their friends do it or an influencer doing it, they're not getting professional consultations to see if that's something that works for them. And that is extremely important in any industry, because like even for me, I don't do hair. So when I go to Shalonda, I say, look, do whatever you feel like looks right, because that's why I'm hiring you, because I trust your professional opinion as far as what needs to be done with my hair, because I am not a hair professional. Just like I expect when people come with me,
she teach you and tell you what's going on.
Exactly. And
so
that's the thing.
What it is. It's about education about your skin, about your makeup, about
it's another
your contours, and that's what people need.
Mm-hmm. It's something else that I want to add, but I don't know if you all touched on this. And you know, this is I gotta talk about You know, you know me, Tank. I gotta.
Say
I
it,
won't.
Bad
Be, I
Cloud.
wouldn't
Go
be.
ahead, Bad Cloud.
I wouldn't be myself. I wouldn't be
No, we
myself
wouldn't.
if I didn't talk about spirituality. You know, I gotta bring it in since we're talking about beauty and we're talking about makeup. You know, I gotta brag on Oshun. You know,
Here
she is
we
the
go.
goddess of beauty. She is the Orisha. She is the Orisha that represents the river. She represents beauty. She represents, you know, prosperity and abundance. But the biggest thing, if you are in the religion of Ifa, and you know you are a daughter of Oshun, the biggest thing that you're going to learn is about self-love. Self-love. When it comes to
Yes. Yes.
when it comes to makeup, you know, makeup, I don't have a problem with makeup.
Hallelujah.
The issue is if the you that's made up, you know, you want to be that way more than the you that's not made up, because the you that's not made up still has healing to do. You know, you still don't love yourself. So you don't, when you see yourself in the mirror as, you know, bare with no makeup, you don't love yourself. You don't like the way you look. You know, so you put the makeup on as a, you know, as a disguise, as a mask.
I think so.
And the
I
reason
think
why I'm
that's
saying,
true to a degree, but I don't think that that's necessarily true all the time.
and
I feel
the
like
reason why I'm
there's
saying is because
levels to it.
I literally just had this issue with two women that I work with. One is light skinned, one is dark skinned. The light skinned girl, you know, she looks at, you know, she's naturally beautiful. You know, the dark skinned girl is naturally beautiful. But the argument was, you know, her whole thing is, oh, you get more attention than me because of your skin color, and me, I got to put on makeup and wigs to get the same type of attention that you get. And I'm looking at her like, yo, you are beautiful. Like, you are naturally
Are we just
beautiful.
bypassing the fact
You
that
may
did
think
you
that,
just
but she may
admit
not.
that you're messing with two different women right now?
He probably
You said what?
Are we just bypassing the fact that you just admitted you're messing with two different women right now?
What, one woman that's light skinned, but that's both black women. It's just one is light skinned and one is dark skinned.
No, Rick,
Whoa.
you missed it. It went completely over your head. He was implying that you are involved with both of these women. Like you're seeing both of these women, you're dating both of these women. Which
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
think that's
dating
what
them.
you're
I'm
saying.
working with them.
Yeah, I know. I caught it.
Yeah,
But he
I'm
was
working
making
with
a
them.
joke.
Did we
It just
admit
the joke
that
was just
you're
completely
involved with two
just
different
gone.
women? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with them. This is an argument that I'm in the middle of, and I gotta tell these women like, yo, you are naturally beautiful. You are naturally beautiful. You know, you don't have to wear makeup and wigs just to get attention. Like,
All
it's
right, so
not.
wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me stop you for a second. Okay, I gotta ask. Now, for you personally, if you had to choose between the light skinned girl or the dark skinned girl, who are you picking?
I knew you
Which
was
one
gonna
you gonna pick? Thank you. Thank
I
you.
knew
Because I'm
it.
like, it's you're saying that they're naturally beautiful, but it's also like, you know, you have
Look,
to think about what kind of he's going for their attention.
So me,
I
Who's
know
benefiting?
so me,
what you gonna say? You gonna say chocolate?
so me thinking about this in a holistic way, the one who truly loves herself, that's the one that I want to go with.
No.
But you
It
don't
don't
know
matter.
that.
You don't know that.
It don't
You don't
matter.
know that.
None of
You
that.
gotta
we're
keep
not
the
doing
buck,
that.
bro. You got to keep it a buck because you don't know
Yeah,
off
for
first
real.
impression when you're
So-
walking down the street and you
Yeah,
see
we're not
somebody.
doing
You don't know
that.
if she love
Go
herself or
for
not.
it.
You don't know that.
So
You don't know
again,
that.
Rick, we're gonna ask you the question.
Keep it
Let's keep it
100.
100. Who you going with? Because we don't know what they look like. You know what they look like. So only thing we can do is just take your word for what you say because we haven't seen them. So what is it?
Yeah.
Who is it gonna be?
I mean, my answer is still the same, but to answer your question, I would go with the light skinned chick because she has those issues.
Floridian for real.
No, you
There
said
it
the
goes.
chocolate one.
There it is.
She didn't have that trauma.
So wait a minute.
She don't have that trauma.
But wait a minute. But again, you're making it seem like the trauma that she has isn't valid because her point was most men are going to look at the light skinned girl before they look at me, and you just proved that to be true. So it's not that her trauma isn't valid. It's very valid. How she feels is accurate.
You asked me depending on the situation, which one would I go with? Which one would I date? Or which one would I go with? You know, if the if the issues were different, if it was the light skinned girl that was complaining
But I'm
about
saying,
that, and
but
dark
you
skinned
don't.
girl
But I'm
was
saying,
beautiful,
like, you don't
as
know
far
none
as,
of
you know,
that.
with her
Like,
natural beauty, I would have picked the dark skinned girl. It's not a colorism thing with me.
no, I'm not saying that it's colorism at all.
Yes,
I'm just
it
saying
is.
based upon how you look at her. You know what I'm saying? Forget like you actually
Right.
talking to him and stuff like that. I'm just saying, you know, as a
Right.
man,
Here's
you can
all.
have two women in the same place, and guess what?
Oh
There's
my
usually going to be
God.
one of them that's finer than another. You see what I'm saying? And odds are you're going to say, hey, listen, you know, if I didn't know you on a personal level, I'm probably going to go with her because she's more attractive. So that's why I was
Right.
asking you, okay, well, out of the two, who do you find
No,
more
but
attractive? Who are you rolling with?
I said
Why is
no.
it
I
so
said that
hard
from the
to
beginning.
explain or
From the
understand?
beginning, I said that equally as far as attractiveness, I think both of them are equally
See, what
attractive.
had
I said
happened was
the dark skinned girl, she was the one. It was the dark skinned girl that was mad. She was like, "Oh, I don't get the same attention
see
as
what
you. I need
had
makeup. I
happened
need
was
wigs. I need this." And I'm like, yo, like
Yeah,
what man
again,
would want to
but
deal
you
with someone
okay,
who thinks of themselves like that?
but you proved the point though.
Oh my gosh, her point is valid, and that's what a lot of women experience. It's like women are out here competing in the dating world, in the world
Yes.
of getting jobs, career. It's competition
Everything.
all day, every day. So women
Everywhere.
put their best foot forward. Just like Ben, if you know your hairline is receding, you're gonna be walking around confident at 30 some years old with your hairline receding. No, you're gonna go try to figure that out and get some spray dye or
wait,
whatever to
wait.
put onto
But
your
see, the
hair
issue
to
is,
make
okay,
Great.
let's go with
Pause.
that. Let's go with that.
Stop.
Let's go with
Hold
that.
on.
So as a
No.
man,
Wait
we
a
don't
minute.
really have.
Wait a minute.
As a man, we don't
I'm,
have
I'm
that.
a man that I'm bald headed. So look,
Yeah, I
we
am too.
work our ass off too. And you know what? When our whole perception and our hairline receding or our gray hair start coming in, we doing the same stuff. So it's about we busting our butt to make ourselves look good for y'all also. So
Now
in the
this
end,
is
it's
the
an
thing.
equal opportunity type situation.
No, it's
Now
not. It's not.
this
It's
is the
not equal
thing
opportunity.
because if
We ain't
if
putting makeup on, no. But
when those wig caps for men came out and it started to get all over Facebook and Instagram, would you get this to fix your hairline? Would you get this male wig? Would you get this male weave? Man, you had so many women dissing, yo, my man better not get this men, It was a big issue. It was a huge issue when they came out with the men weave. When they came out with the man, the man cap, where you put the little cap on and it looked like you got waves.
one of the number one
again,
selling items
there's a
in the
reason
U.S.
why
for
though.
hair loss.
There's a reason why women felt that way because again, we just have to be honest. How men see things and how women see things when it comes to relationships are different. You know what I'm saying? And things that may bother men may not bother women and vice versa.
Of course.
Right.
So, the thing is, it goes back to, what we were saying earlier as far as like who you would pick. When I was saying, okay, even you admitted that you would roll with the light-skinned girl and you were justifying it saying, oh, well, she's more healed and all that. Listen, at the end of the day, none of that stuff matters when it comes to attractiveness. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be, okay, now let me make sure I make this perfectly clear. It is true that you can have a woman that is extremely attractive, but you can lose attraction for her based upon her attitude and how she carries herself. You know what I mean? What her spiritual energy looks like.
Correct.
So that is true.
100%
but
correct.
before you get to that point, just based upon what you physically see, men know who we're going to roll with. You see what I'm saying? And I think actually she was going to make a point in regards to that as far as like, absolutely, like you validated her point as far as the dark-skinned girl is concerned.
Yeah, and it's why
But
women.
see, the thing about it is, we go.
Hold on,
with,
Rick.
and
Hold
you're
on, Rick.
right.
Hold on, Rick.
You're
Hold on,
right.
Rick. Hold on, Rick. Let me let Ashley respond.
Yeah, to that point of validating it, it's the reason why women put on makeup to make themselves look better, feel better, and feel more confident. You know what I'm saying? Because dark-skinned women know that more than likely they're not going to catch a man's attention as quickly as a woman that is of lighter complexion. So, unfortunately, it's unfortunate that it's that way, but we didn't tell men what to be attracted to. So it's kind of like, you know, like, oh, the dark-skinned girl dressed up with her hair done nice and makeup on compared to a white-skinned woman that unfortunately levels the playing field in some people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Men's eyes when it comes to attraction, because your men are not necessarily, y'all are visual, and I just don't like when
they're visual.
But like, men
visual.
y'all cannot minimize, you know,
They
not
don't
saying
see
you guys
the
are doing this,
heart.
but minimize the importance of that physical attraction, that and how much it matters to you. Yes, you want her to be healed, her soul intact, and all this other mess, but that's later down the line. Okay, when it comes to first meeting someone, like, it's the physical body that you see. So if, like I said, a woman walks up
So are
to
you
you,
saying women are not like that?
No.
I'm not even touching on that, because that's not the point that I'm trying to make.
Away from Shalonda. No. So are y'all saying that women
I'm
are
not
not
saying,
like that?
wait, I'm answering your question right now, because I'm not saying that. I'm just making the point of the fact that men are visual, and so when it comes
Yes,
to
we are
in terms
visual.
of
Yes, we are. I agree with that.
Women wearing
Women
makeup
are visual as well.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Women are, but the thing
Say
is,
it
this
again,
goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is levels to it, is different. How we, for
Aaron,
us,
no,
our
there's not.
attraction.
Aaron, no, I'm gonna throw a wrench in all y'all fucking thinking right there. I'm sorry. You
Let's
can delete
go.
me on that. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Sorry. I apologize. But a majority of dating since 2020 has happened online. So you got Facebook dating, you got Bumble, you got Twitter, you got all types of different dating. Everyone
Sure.
is swiping right. So let's say just on that, okay, you're swiping right based off of a visual. So you're attracted. You're saying that person deserves to talk to me. Let's say there is no online dating. Let's say I approach you and say, hey, mama, you look good. I think you look cute, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to get your number. You're only going to give me your number because I look attractive to you. And you're saying, you know what? He could hit that, or I might be able to give it to him.
But that's not
or
necessarily
I might
true,
be
though.
willing to. It's
That's not necessarily true.
attractiveness. It's visual. First off,
Okay.
it's visual.
I'm not okay. So let me make sure I clarify something. So I agree that both parties
In a
are
way.
visual.
In
okay,
a way.
but
in a way, correct? Yeah.
yes, but again, there's levels to it from men and women. Where
There
for
are
men,
levels, but
for men,
I'm saying it's
hold on. Let me cook real quick. Let me cook.
Okay,
So
go for it.
All right, Jab. All right, Minister Jab.
So with men, how we view something as far as the level of attraction, for us, you can come, like, you can have like an average woman or a woman that's not as attractive. They can try to come and spit game, and if you're just not attracted, it's just not going to happen. But for women, on the other hand, they can see a man that may be okay, that they may not necessarily be their first pick, but depending on how you approach them, it may change their mind and say, you know, I am going to give him my number just to kind of see where this is going to go,
Yeah.
you know, see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Because
if you
for
leave
women,
with your
again,
wallet,
it's different.
if you leave with your wallet first,
So
if you leave with your wallet first, yeah.
Yeah, but my point is,
wait.
But
stop,
hold on.
The only
hold
reason,
on. I gotta mute you for a second. I can't have you talk over the host. So just hold on with me 1 second. 1 second. Okay.
Respect,
But my point was simply, again, yes, both parties are visual, but for men, it doesn't matter what kind of game you're spitting to us. If we're just not attracted, we're just not attracted. Where women, that's not necessarily the case, because even if even if your game isn't all that, you have some women that will entertain you based upon what you can do for them, how you can elevate their status.
Wait.
So all those things are
When
all
do women spit
factors
game?
that are part of this.
though?
Wait, since when do women spit game? Wait, let's talk about that first. Since when do women speak game? All they gotta do is be pretty. All they gotta do is be cute, is be approachable, be feminine, be friendly.
That's my point.
And that's all they gotta do.
That's
all
my
they gotta
point.
do is be approachable, friendly,
Okay,
and
so
feminine.
hold on, wait. Okay, so look, we don't have to have this debate amongst. Hold on.
We don't. They are picking who is more creative. Not the fact that they got approached. They're picking who's more creative, not the fact that who just approached them.
Yeah, because if you approach a woman with a sorry pickup line, that she's heard a million times.
Exactly. So they have more options than we do, but we have to
Like,
work
what's up, baby?
harder at
Roses are
being
red, violets
creative.
are blue.
So
No,
it's not
I agree
about
with that.
the makeup. It's about them being picky.
So let me I'm going to mute the men for just a second because I really want to hear
Go ahead.
what Gray has to say. I really want to hear what she has to say,
This is good,
because
Aaron. This is good.
again, I'm not about to let y'all, pretend like it's not levels to it as far as,
There is
men's
levels.
level of attraction versus women's level of attraction. So let me go to Gray real quick. Give me your thoughts.
First, I think we getting off on a tangent, so I just got to put that out there. But
Yeah, we are.
I feel like I feel a little bit of cap in the room. Like, I just feel like, men are not going to like be number one. The other man on the phone, he made the point of like men have to work harder to basically like get a woman, to get a woman's attention, to like, basically get her to be interested in you. Like, you have to do a little bit more. You got to spend some money. You got to do whatever, right? Like, that's a point that we all know, like, that's valid and that's real life. You know what I mean? But it's like, you're not about to want to work hard to get some chick number that face look crusty, that, hair not done, that's not attractive. So it's just like, y'all deem what's worthy of getting that from you based on how she appears to you, how she appeals to you sexually, physically. So it's like the bringing it back to the point of like why women wear makeup and are we being indoctrinated to these techniques or what the hell ever. It's like, again, it's not, I don't think that women do this. I've serviced hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women. I don't think that women are doing this for you all, if I'm just being honest. I think women do it for their own confidence, for them to feel great about themselves and to feel like they're putting the best version of themselves forward into the world in whatever capacity that they're doing it for. Like, if it's an event, if they're just going out for their birthday, they just want to look good, feel good, and like vibrate a little bit higher, because something about looking, they say, if you look good, you feel good. That's a real
you do.
statement.
When you look good, you do feel good.
When you look good, you feel good. Whether that's you being minimalist in your makeup and that makes you feel good, if it's you being beat to the gods and the lash is, if it doesn't look right to other people, it's honestly kind of like, again, like, how can you say a woman may not love herself if she feels like she has to put on 5 layers of makeup? Actually, maybe she does love herself, so she's confident enough to wear 5 layers of makeup. Like, it's so much more complex. And I just feel like trying to minimize it, and deduce it to just like, oh, it's about lack of confidence, or y'all don't need all of that, or y'all don't. It's just like, who's even said that it was about y'all to begin with? You know what I mean? Like,
it's like, who made the rules? My thing,
who makes the rules?
Who makes the rules?
Yes, who makes the rules? It's like makeup is a form of expression, and that's why it was created to minimize what we don't want and to accentuate what we don't want somebody to see, and to accentuate what we want someone to see. So, like me, for example, like when I do my own face, I want to hide the fact that I maybe didn't get enough sleep the night before, or that, my skin may be a little dry today because I was drinking the night before, or, my period has my skin breaking out a little bit. So I'm going to hide those blemishes. I'm going to accentuate what works for me. So, that sounds manipulative. It's not manipulative because it's not in the context of doing it for someone else's like perception. It's for your own like confidence.
Your own liking, right?
It's not manipulative.
My thing is just I
mute myself.
You're right. You're right, Gray. My thing with the whole thing is just I just don't wear it a lot. I wear a little bit, but not a lot. That's just my personal preference. But I have no problem with makeup. I think it's creative. You have different ways you can do it. Natural, glow, baby doll, dramatic, whatever, whatever your choice is. But I do feel, like I said, because I do work with a lot of men, that a lot of men don't like it. But that's them. That's their problem, right?
Ooh.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick in regards to that, because I have had men who have literally like you know, I did a wedding in December, and this bride doesn't wear makeup. This lady doesn't wear makeup at all. Naturally, yes, she's pretty, but it's like you could use a little one too, just to look beautiful for your wedding day. When I got out of the car, her husband helped me with her husband now helped me with my bags, and he was like, "Don't be putting all that shit on my white face." You know what I'm saying? I don't want her looking like some drag queen. I
He
want her
said that to you?
Wow.
Oh yeah, they say all type of stuff. So I was like, look, like, you know, look, she in good hands. You don't have to worry. Like, she's gonna look beautiful. I'm sure, like, you know, a little bit of enhancement doesn't hurt, right? So I did her makeup, and I don't have a before photo of this woman. Well, I can go on her Instagram and get one, but she looked naturally like herself. She looked beautiful. She looked enhanced. She looked like herself. It wasn't over the top. He felt like it was too much, right? So she wanted to not have foundation. She didn't want to have, now look, she liked it, but here's the thing. She liked her makeup, right? She liked it. She thought it was okay. She was a little uncomfortable at first because she felt as though she's not used to it. So it takes some adjusting, obviously. She literally doesn't wear it at all. So I'm telling her, like, look, like, you know, for your wedding day, this is what you need to kind of do. Like, if you're going to take professional photos, like, it's a reason for this technique, it's a reason for this, blah, blah, blah. But trust me, in your photos, you're going to look exactly like yourself, and you do now in person. And I said, keep in mind right now, you're in sweatpants, your hair's in a bun, like, everything else is not really corresponding with the look on your face. So she shows her husband. He completely hates it. So she wants me to take lashes away. She doesn't want foundation. She wanted a different color blush and like all these things. So it was my job to educate her and say, look, I'm pretty whoever that is, can you mute your it's just loud and it's kind of it's just
I'm sorry, Grace.
Echoing.
We're
it's
in
okay.
Mexico. I'm so sorry.
So it was my job to educate her and to be like, look, like, you know, no, you cannot forego foundation. Perhaps maybe we can use one that's less coverage. So that way, you know, you feel like it's less and it can be lighter for you. I can apply less makeup if you'd like, but no makeup is not an option because it's your wedding day. And you really think your man thinks that he wants to see you in your natural state when you walk down that aisle. But realistically, like if you have on a gown that's with a 20-foot train and hair slayed to the nines, why would you not have on makeup? It doesn't make sense. So it's like he's not gonna really get the full picture. And he's gonna think you're attractive, but is he gonna be the most attractive to you that he could be if you were enhanced a bit for your wedding day?
Yes, he will.
You know what I mean?
But you're saying that in your perspective,
right.
he may not think like that.
Okay,
he don't think like that.
No. I have to be with Gray on this one. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, I have to be on Gray. I have to be with her on this one because we got to stick together. So I must say this, and I'm going to stick with this.
It's your wedding.
No, like I said, I'm not a big makeup person. I do not wear makeup every day. I'm more of a naturalist. But what I will say is that there's nothing wrong with makeup. And I feel that men need to really stop making it seem like they don't like it. They don't like it because they like it. They like it. They like makeup.
Look,
they like lashes.
It's like when we get married.
A lot of them do. I'm not gonna say all.
Okay,
of them,
hold on. Wait a minute.
They like makeup. They like the lashes.
Stop. Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
This is what we can't do. Women have to stop telling men what we like. Because generally men know what we like.
Okay, no, and Aaron, that's what I'm gonna have to disagree with you on. Yes, guys.
You're gonna disagree with me on something that I'm telling you as a man. I'm telling you. Hold on. First off, you haven't heard me. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Talking over the host. Hold on.
Lex walk down the aisle. What did you think when you seen Lex walk down that aisle?
Okay, so let me answer that question. So first and foremost, here's the difference between me and the guy that Ashley just described. I liked how my wife looked. I didn't have a problem with it because I felt like she did a phenomenal job on my wife. And my wife looked gorgeous on our wedding day. The guy that she just described, he wasn't happy with it for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, maybe just not his look or whatever, I don't know. But he did not like it. And guess what? He wouldn't have been as attracted to his wife on the wedding day if he didn't like it from the beginning. Me, I liked it from the beginning. So again, every man is different. If a man is telling you that he doesn't like something, believe him, because that's how he feels. He's not just going to tell you that just to say it. You see what I'm saying? Most of the time, if we don't like something, we don't say nothing at all. But if we're telling you that we don't like something, or we really don't like it, you know what I'm saying? Now the question is, why does he feel that way?
Especially when it's a situation to where
that layer is what's deeper that we obviously don't know. Like, I don't know this person on a personal
Exactly.
level,
I don't know what's
but
on your
it's like
mind.
I think part of maybe the reason, because this guy's a ball player, he's a very famous retired ball player. Like, his idea of makeup could be from his experiences of the women that he's been involved with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or
So he doesn't like it.
So he's like, I want my women to be the complete opposite of that, which is fine.
Yes.
Which I agree
The
with.
girl
I
next
think
door,
that
like,
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I just think that, for example, right, Aaron, like if I showed you the type of the look that, not throw Alexis under the bus, but if I show you the inspiration that she sent me for y'all's wedding day, it was a night and day difference from what I led her to and what she ended up looking like. You see what I'm saying? Because she's not a makeup girl. She doesn't wear makeup.
No,
she's not knowledgeable all the way. But how that would be perceived from a male perspective, as well as even for herself. In her mind, it's like, these are my colors. This is what I want to do. This is what I think will look good. But it was my job to be like, okay, wait, no. When you look at these photos 10 years from now, do you really want to have this color eyeshadow on your eyes? Is that what you want to see? It's not timeless. It's not classic. It's not naturally attractive. It's not what make you look the most natural and the most like yourself, but a glammed up, more beautiful, polished version. So it's like, if I had to put her down the aisle with that, you wouldn't have probably thought that you probably thought it may have looked nice, but it wouldn't have enhanced her in the way that she needed to be enhanced for her wedding day. So when it comes to,
exactly.
So I say that to say that, like, y'all like it when it looks good.
Yes.
I think men like makeup when it
some people.
Wait a minute. Yes. No, hold on, Rick. Yes. I agree with the women on this. Right, we're gonna like it if it looks good. It's just like, listen, I tell my wife this all the time, okay? When it comes to cooking, I tell her I eat anything that you make as long as it tastes good. That's just, and the reality of it is, most men are that way.
Ugly on the plate.
I'm not gonna say most. All men are like that. If it tastes good, we'll eat it. As long as we're not allergic to it, of course. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is. So like, if a man sees a woman and she's beautiful, she's beautiful. And she's gonna, and you know what I mean? So again, I agree with the women when it comes to that, because that's just how men operate. If we like something, we like it. If we don't like it, we don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's literally that simple.
That's the point he was making of just saying, like, y'all like it, because I think you do if it looks good. And I think that, like, with this example that I gave, he obviously didn't like makeup, probably because of the examples that he's seen. And in his mind, it's like, I want my woman to be more laid back and more natural. She don't need all of that, which she on an everyday basis, no, she don't need no makeup. But in my mind, like, what is when we talk about the word need, right? Like, okay, she's naturally beautiful though. Like, so of course she doesn't. But if your woman wasn't, if she didn't have clear, perfect skin, if she didn't have, like, bright, doughy eyes and, these full, supple lips, like, if she didn't look like this, like, would you still have the same opinion about how her makeup looks, or if she should wear it at all? You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I think it's based on your level of attraction, what you're attracted to, and why you may or may not like something. Why you may or may not like makeup. It's like, okay, if you got a girl that
it seems like it's based on a preference. It seems like a preference.
Yeah,
you can't really tell somebody, and you can't really tell somebody about the preference.
Yeah, go ahead. We can wrap up soon, but I'm gonna go to my man that's in Mexico. Then I'm gonna come to Rick, and then I'm gonna come to Ashley. So let's go to my man real quick.
Okay, I just want to wrap up really quick. Miss Cray, look, everything you said in that scenario, I don't want you to take it the wrong way. I fully agree and respect your professional opinion on when it comes to makeup. The scenario that you put out there, regardless of what the husband looked at, yes, I agree with Aaron. That was his preference. You're not going to change his preference. But the way that you put it out there, that to me is how you're supposed to put it out there. You're educating of look, this is what's going to accentuate you. This is what's going to take away certain aspects that you don't want to see or whatever they don't like. And you're educating them on what they should be doing for themselves, so they don't always have to come to you. Does it take away from your business as a professional when you educate them? Yes, but you're educating them because we should always be educating people about themselves and how to take care of themselves. And me, I'm a chef. I do the same thing when it comes to food. What is healthy? How to make something themselves, so you don't have to always come out and spend the money to do it and have someone else do it for them. But that is, to me, the basis of the beginning of this conversation when it comes to the makeup part is we need to educate people about this stuff to where they understand what is too much and what is not and what is perfect for them. Everyone is different. No one is the same. I suffer from seizures. I go to a neurologist, and the neurologist cannot tell me based off of a brain pattern the same thing that's in the book, because my brain is functioning different than someone else. So everyone is different. The same way how you deal with different people with their skin and their makeup, everyone is different. You need to educate them as to the best way that is best for them. The way that Shalonda educates people about their hair is the best way for their hair and what they intake into their body and their diet, which creates their hair and stuff like that. It creates a different strand, a different texture, or a different way, and you need to make it healthier this way. So it's all about education and communication. And amongst Black people, we need to communicate and work with each other and communicate more effectively when it comes to that. So I don't ever want you to take anything I said in this conversation as being against the makeup scene, because everything you said, I totally agree with you on that. I just feel like on certain things, hey, that there are certain levels when it comes to men and women we think differently on. But yes, it's all about communication, and you are the professional and you know more about it than I do. I am not the professional. I'm not going to say I know more about it. I just know what I like. And for my queen, I see what she does and I give her my 2 cents. If she chooses to do it or she doesn't choose to do it, I'm a backer 100% regardless, because that's the relationship we have. And that's my 2 cents, and that's my closing argument on the fact.
All right, let me go to Rick. What you got? Is he muted? Let me make sure he's not muted. Nah, he
Okay,
shouldn't
Aaron,
be.
we're gonna leave out Han, okay? We
Okay.
gotta head
Oh,
back
can you hear
to the
me?
resort.
Yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you now. And no, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Let me just real quick, let people know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Hair Movement. I'm one of the best hairstylists in Orlando, and you can find
She the
Chef
best.
Milligan,
She the best. Chef B. Milligan
Chef B. Milligan
on
at
Instagram.
Latitude Instagram.
Chef B. Milligan on Instagram, or Bob Milligan on Facebook.
And there we go. I'm gonna go to Mr. Bandclap. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys for joining me. Listen, make sure you guys check out the last or the next 10 minutes of the show, because we're getting ready to close anyway. But the 2 questions I got, you don't want to miss it. Okay, you don't want to miss it. But let me go to Mr. Bandclap.
Man, y'all already know the deal. www.bandclaptv.com for all things Bandclap TV, my music, my DJ services. I also give readings, natal chart readings, tarot readings, consultations. You can find all that on my website. You can follow me on Instagram, Bandclap TV, and Facebook, Bandclap TV, and YouTube, Mr. Bandclap.
All right, y'all. Go ahead.
So, as
thoughts.
far as my closing argument, it was one thing that that I wanted to clarify, something that Ashley said, and that is when it comes to, and I can't even say all, because it's never an all, it's a most. So most men, they're not going to come at a woman in a negative way just because their makeup isn't right, or just because their hair isn't laid, or, stuff like that. The only way that we're going to revert, negative energy back to someone is if they give it to us first. And one thing that I can, I do security at a nightclub downtown. And some of the most attitudes that I get are the women who are dressed to the nine with their makeup and weave, and they feel like they better than everybody else in the club. Those are the ones I have the most issues with. But aside from that, I agree with the chef. I have no issue personally with makeup. But I do agree when he was talking about communication. If me and you as a woman, if me and you are supposed to be married, we're supposed to be one, all those type of things, then that means if we're one and we're a reflection of each other, that means that if it's something that you're doing that, I may not agree with, we should be able to communicate and come to a agreement without a third party coming in trying to assert dominance, because when a man chooses to marry a woman, all of those expenses are on him. He has to pay for the dress. He has to pay for the wedding. He has to pay for all of those things that that his wife is going to do in that wedding. So if he doesn't want to pay for his woman to get makeup or something like that because he feels like there's not something that money needs to be spent on or whatever, she should respect his wishes, because that's who you chose to marry. You're supposed to be one, and vice versa. If she says, "Oh, I don't like your tie," or "I don't like the clothes you wear," something like that, if I feel like I can, switch the style up sometimes or whatever, it should be communication. It should be a clear communication. And when it comes to us, clothing, when it comes to us melanated people, that's one of the biggest issues that we have is communication, being able to understand each other, which we should. We've been through 400 years of slavery, for crying out loud, with each other. But, listening to each other, understanding each other's point of view, and being able to make a constructive outcome out of it. That's my thing. I don't have an issue with the makeup, but as long as it's a self-love, as long as she loves herself with it on and without it on, that's my whole thing. That's my thing about it.
Before I go to Ashley, I just wanna say something real quick to you, Rick. I know you've never been married before, but I just want to give you a heads up, and anyone that's listening, this is for the men. Understand, it sounds good when you say that the wedding is about the two of you becoming one. Here's the reality. It's about her. The wedding is her day. It's about what she wants and how she feels. It's not about you. Don't go into the wedding thinking that it's going to be about the both of you, because it's not. It should.
No,
but we don't live
no.
in a world
I
of
say
what
the marriage.
should. We live in a world
Mm-hmm.
of what is. And most of the time when you start talking about, especially like getting makeup and stuff like that, because you were talking about, him paying for the wedding and stuff like that. Again, traditionally the bride's family is supposed to do it, but I understand in today's world, that may not necessarily be the case. But again, if you think that the marriage is about you, or if you think it's about the two of you, understand it's not. It's about her and what she wants. Let me go to Gray real quick and final remarks, and where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me at makeupbygray.com on Instagram as well. It's GRAY. Yeah, I agree with Aaron. I think that what you mentioned, Rick, about becoming one with your mate or whatever, your partner for your wedding day, and that needing to be the most important thing. It's like, it sounds good in theory, but realistically, like, you as the man really won't be fulfilled if your woman is not happy. So if your woman wants to have her makeup done for her wedding day, which she should, because she'll be taking professional photos and she wants to look her absolute best. This is what women literally fantasize and daydream about since they were little girls. I think that it's about compromising in a sense, like in my mind, like, yeah, it is my job as a professional to come in and assert my dominance when I can tell that there's two people that are uneducated in what they're talking about. And when it comes to me being the expert in something, like, that's absolutely my job. Now it's up to them to decide what they want to do. It's not my job to sway someone either way it goes. My job is just to educate and make sure I'm asserting my dominance based on what I know and what I'm an expert at. And one thing I do know for certain is that most men are very misinformed and miseducated on what professional makeup actually looks like and what it entails and what actually looks good and what will be best. So, because it's not the world that y'all live in. Y'all perceive it and you take it in and you find attraction to women, but you don't really know, like, all of the layers and the details of what goes. Like, if her man wanted her to look natural, like, he doesn't know what it requires for her to look like naturally herself on her wedding day as far as having makeup applied, right? So it's my job to say, look, like, there's levels to this. Like, obviously, I'm not going to take her up to a level 100, but we're going to have her at like a level 20 because, that will give you the perception of what it is you think that you want. And I just think that as a whole, like, I use that example just to pinpoint the fact that, men have opinions about what they think looks good. And that's fine. You like what you like. You like what you don't. You don't like what you don't like. But I just think when it comes to women and how we perceive ourselves, like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with if some days you want to be a level 100 and some days you want to be a level 20. It's like, long as your attitude and your confidence comes from a place of humility, like, it really doesn't matter. And I think that's what men really, I think that's what they you all look for, is like the heart posture and the energy of a woman that, is what like, that's what you all are really attracted to deep down. It's like, obviously, yes, the physical attraction is the first step, but it's the way she's carrying herself. It's the way she's speaking to people around you, that you see her, how she's interacting. Like, it's all of those things in like a bottle, in like a jar, you know what I mean, mixed together. So I just think that, like, people should just, be more forefront of be honest about what it is they're really attracted to and what they really like. And just go for that, because you can't lose that way, but also not have judgments or opinions so heavily about what you don't like. Like, just stick to what works for you. And if you don't like the girl that wears double lashes, like, don't like it, and then don't put it down. Like, it is what it is. If that's what makes her feel good, if that's what gets her attention, because best believe there are men that are hollering at her with them double lashes. Like, there's men that, that's trying to see what's up. It may not be for a romantic rendezvous of a long-term relationship, but it's men that's getting attention, giving their attention to it. So it's just like, people just got to do what's best for them and what makes them feel, great inside, and exude that energy outward into the world. So, and it's my job as a professional to pull that out of women. So
there we have it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you so much to our lovely panel that we've had today. They have been absolutely amazing. So again, I always leave y'all with something. First and foremost, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Living Black Life podcast. Love to have you guys. You can follow me at The Godfather Tank D on all platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you can find me there. Questions. Next show. Have men become useless to women in 2022? And next question. Is it okay to allow your children to believe a lie? That's what we got coming up next time, you guys. I appreciate you all for joining me tonight. I'm out.